Hey, it's another one of these videos again. Yeah, I'm back doing some more videos, so let's get started. Today, we're going to use this to do something. Let's have some fun. Let's make some pasta. All right, welcome back everybody. I'm Dave Guerra, This Vet Cooks. I want to thank you again for joining me. And in today's action-packed episode, we're going to make some pasta. We're going to make it from scratch. All right, so it's going to involve some flour, a couple of eggs, a little bit of olive oil, a pinch of salt, some water. And we're going to mix it all up. We're going to put it in a mixer, but we can knead it by hand also, make the dough by hand. It's up to you. Then we're going to run it to flatten it out. Well, we're going to let it rest for about an hour. Then we're going to run it through the machine to flatten it out. And then that's where this comes in, this little machine here. We're just going to cut off some nice thick pasta. And we're going to save it. We're going to save about half the batch, but we're going to cook up one batch and see what that's all about. But let's get started, man. I'm already hungry. I got to make it, so let's get started. All right, listen, I want to thank everybody that's watched all the videos, that's following us on the Facebook page, facebook.com/thisvetcooks. Also on our Twitter feed, on our Instagram, we're everywhere. So again, thank you very much for following, and let me know which episode you like, which one so far has been your favorite. We're going to continue. We are going to pick it up now. The holidays are here. We're going to pick up the airlift, the Berlin Airlift cookbook. We're going to do that again, but we're going to do the holiday ones. So we're going to start launching those. So as I'm recording this, we're about a week out from Halloween, but we're going to get going with those again and kind of put that holiday flair, holiday spin, and let's see what we can do with that. Other than that, again, I want to thank everybody for joining me. And you know what? Enough. Let's put it all together. Let's go make some dough. Let's go make it happen. Alrighty. So why are we making pasta? Because sometimes, you know what, making pasta is just that much better than cutting open a box and just throwing it into some boiling water. And you gotta get your hands into it. You gotta feel it. Sometimes you just gotta do it. So what are we gonna need? Well, we're gonna need about 3 cups of flour. Or if we were doing semolina flour, we would use 2 cups of semolina flour. But in this case, it's all-purpose flour. So we're going to do 3 cups of that. Just about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 large eggs, 3 tablespoons of water, and 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of water, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. And then we're going to put it all into the mixing bowl, and we're going to use the kneading element here, the kneading blade, I guess. It's just going to spin in here, and we'll take care of that. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and load everything up. So we're going to move some things around. The liquid, it's up to you. You can have the liquid all mixed in together now, or you can mix it in as you go along. That's strictly up to you. What I like to do is let the blade, or let the kneading blade, I guess, do the dirty work. So let's go ahead and let's load up the 3 cups of flour. And there's the 6, just in case, that's the 6 1/2 cup. Drop into the bowl there, into the mixing bowl. So that takes care of our flour. Let's see, now we got to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So again, you will know, feel it, kind of already know what it, but if you don't have that implement, just kind of cup your hand. I have kind of and maybe just a bit, you know what, it doesn't hurt. A little too much might not hurt, but again, 1/4 teaspoon to begin with, and 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Now I'm not going to dump the olive oil in my hand. No, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get a teaspoon. Okay, I'm back, and the first thing I grabbed, it's a 1/2 teaspoon. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's upside down too. There it is. It's a 1/2 teaspoon. So we'll do that twice here with olive oil. If we have olive oil, there it is. 1, and there we go. Let that fall in there. Yep, there we go. That should do it. And so we've got that. Delicious. Smells great. Olive oil. There we go. 2 eggs. There we go. You gotta be careful. There's one egg. And that's the one thing I hate about cracking eggs. It's like you can kind of tell when they're not going to go the right way, so you start getting extra cautious, and then when you get extra cautious is when it all just goes to pot. All right, so 2 eggs, and here's the 3 tablespoons of cold water. We'll get that going in there. Now we're going to go ahead and take it over to the mixer, and let's get it mixed up. All right, now there it is in the bowl. Here's the KitchenAid ready to rock and roll, and we've got the blender or the mixer here, the Knead assembly, the kneader. And folks, once it's in, don't put your hands in there. Whatever you do not put your hands in there. In just a bit, I will stop it, and I will use a spatula to kind of push the stuff on the side down. But one other thing you can do, and as soon as I find it here in my spice rack, I will share it with you. If you happen to have the Italian seasonings, there you go, the Italian. Now it's not too late. You can go ahead, just put in a wee bit. So it mixes into your dough. You'll see the little green flecks in the pasta as we run it later. But again, not too much. You don't want to overpower it. But the Italian one does pretty good job. You can do your oregano, you can do whatever you want. All right, now here's where it's going to get loud. So I'm going to let it go for a little bit, and then I will go ahead and mute, and we'll fast forward through that. So there we go, and here we go. All right, so now you see it starts to look a little bit like meal, like when you're making cornbread. It looks a little like that. And you saw I stopped it. Now I'm using that spatula to get stuff down off the sides. And again, be careful. It's still active. It's still plugged in. Now, at this point, you might need a little extra liquid. Again, depending on where you're at, humidity and other environmental factors, altitude. And I'm going to try not to add too much. I think I poured in here just a little bit over a tablespoon. Now let's continue. All right, looking at it one more time, I do believe it's starting to form. Feels better. It's feeling firmer. It's feeling like things are starting to gel. Things are starting to coagulate, I guess that would be the proper word. And you see there is some stuff sticking to the sides, so this will come up here in just a bit. And again, as I mentioned, I put in about a tablespoon of water into this little measurer, and that's all I've been just pouring ever so lightly in through the process. Trying not to use more than that, but here we go. Oops, I didn't lower it. All right, there we go. Now it's really starting to stick, and so we're going to give it one final scrape away from the wall. There we go. Oh yeah, it's going to happen here real soon. And once it starts clumping together, once it gels, it's going to start picking up content, or it's going to start picking stuff up off the side. So you'll see that happen here as well. Let's get back to it. Here we go. All right, let's take one quick look, see how it feels. I'm surprised it hasn't already started to form, because there it is. So it's just a matter of, well, there it is. See, it's already happening. So it was on the verge. Let's see if we can help it along here. Where are we? There we are. All right, so there it is, and now we're just going to form it up into a ball. Okay, it's not that difficult. Now here it might feel a little cold, but if it feels too damp, guess what you got to do? That's right, dry it up, a little bit more flour, just roll it all back in there, start again from scratch, but don't overdo it, because what's going to happen is just the final kneading here. What's going to happen is it will, the elasticity that we see here, that's going to dry out. That's going to cause it to dry out. That's not going to let the pasta form properly later on. So what we're going to do now, so I'm going to finish it up here, leave it in a ball, and we're going to wrap it up in saran wrap, or what's that, plastic wrap, clear plastic wrap, and we're just going to set it off, let it do its thing, let the gluten and all that good, all the good stuff, all the gluten and all of everything just bind together and gel, and let the moisture activate, and let it kind of just do its thing. Okay, so pack it up into a nice little ball here, and we'll move it over. Let me get the plastic wrap set, and we'll move it over there. All right, so we're back here at the counter, and there's the clear plastic wrap. There's the dough ball, the pasta dough, and now we're just going to wrap it up nice and tight. And there we go. And what we're going to do is just put it off in a nice, cool, dry spot, and we're going to leave it there for about an hour. Then we'll come back and start rolling out the dough. Hey, listen, want to remind everybody to call the Veterans Crisis Line should you ever need just someone to talk to. Something's going on in your life, you're not too sure how to handle it, what to do with it. 1-800-273-8255. Press the number 1 when that automated attendant answers. Take you right to somebody who can help you. Again, the Veteran Crisis Line is there for you. It's there for a reason. So use it. Use it. Don't hesitate. Make the call. Just make the call. All right? Just do it. Seriously. Make the call. 1-800-273-8255. Press the number 1 when the automated attendant answers. All right, let's go ahead and let's boil the noodles. So again, we could store them in the Ziploc bag. This is what they look like. So let's go ahead and take some out. And they don't take long to make. Look at that, quickly. Look at that. They're already going. It'll take about 3 to 4 minutes. This is not like the box noodles. Ooh. There we go. Let them sit there for just a second, but we also want to look at that. You can see that they're already starting to turn to noodles. Nothing special to the water, just maybe a little salt, just to get it salty, and some oil. And again, 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so we got about another minute or so. This is the point of why pasta? Why not? As I mentioned earlier, it's always cool to have that in your bag of tricks. You know how to make pasta from scratch. It's a winner. And if you got some chicken, it's chicken dinner. Either way, it's good stuff. It's fresh, it's homemade, it's quick, it's easy. We set it up overnight. Look at that. See, it's starting to flop around like noodles. Let's go ahead and get one out. Look at that. It just flops around like a noodle. But yeah, I mean, I got hooked on pasta, fresh pasta. Oh man, years ago. And then it's just one of those things that that's it. It's done. It's just a tiny bit al dente. But that's what you want. Look at that. Flops around like a noodle. So you want it just a tiny bit al dente because it'll finish cooking now that it's off. And man, let me get a plate here. Let me get a little bowl. And just so I can show you what that pasta looks like. And man, it's delicious just on its own. And again, because don't forget, we added the Italian. There it is. There it is. We added those Italian seasoning, the Italian seasoning, to the pasta, and just on its own. I don't know if you can see any there. There might be a couple. There's one like right there. I don't know if you can see that right there. There. So anyway, there we go. Some more right here. See that right there? There we go. All right, so there it is. All right, there it is. There's the pasta in the bowl, and man, it's delicious and it's fresh, and you can just taste it. There it is. Hey, look at that. Look at those noodles. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna put some bolognese sauce on top of this, and I'm Dave Guerra, and this Vet Cooks.